In the beginning, there was the Word. But my dear truth seekers, have you ever wondered what exactly that word was? In what language was the divine "Let there be light" spoken? Imagine for a moment a language so powerful that it could alter reality itself. A language capable of communicating directly with the divine, of manipulating matter at the quantum level. Sounds like science fiction? Perhaps. But what we are about to reveal today could shake the foundations of everything we believe we know about our origins. Apocryphal texts whisper forgotten secrets. Esoteric traditions jealously guard fragments of primordial knowledge. And in the darkest corners of history, secret societies have tirelessly sought to recover what was once lost. What if I told you that this language, this original tongue of Eden, not only existed but could still be hidden among us today? What if we discovered that some seemingly nonsensical words are actually keys to unimaginable power? Today, my friends, we will venture where few have dared. We will unravel the mystery of Eden's secret language and explore how it could be the key to divine power. Prepare to question everything you thought you knew about language, creation, and our very existence. But I warn you, once you cross this threshold, nothing will ever be the same. The knowledge we are about to share has been jealously guarded for millennia. Some would say there are reasons to keep it hidden. Are you ready to discover the truth, no matter how unsettling it may be? Then join me on this journey to the very heart of creation, where science and spirituality converge in a revelation that could change the course of human history. To understand the magnitude of the mystery we are about to unravel, we must go back to the dawn of humanity. The Garden of Eden, described in scriptures as the earthly paradise, was not just a place of perfect harmony between man and nature. It was also the setting for perfect communion between the human and the divine. According to ancient traditions, Adam and Eve not only walked with God, but communicated with him in a perfect language. A language that transcended the limitations of our current tongues. This was not a simple means of exchanging information, but a tool of creation and manifestation. Apocryphal texts, like the Book of Enoch and the Dead Sea Scrolls, make fascinating allusions to this primordial language. They describe words capable of moving mountains, calming storms, and healing diseases. Sound familiar? Many would say these are just metaphors, but what if there was more truth to these stories than we've dared to believe? The fall of man, symbolized by the expulsion from Eden, not only marked our separation from paradise, but also the loss of this divine language. The confusion of tongues at the Tower of Babel, narrated in Genesis, could be an allegory of how humanity moved even further away from this perfect form of communication. But here is where the story becomes truly intriguing. Throughout the centuries, various esoteric traditions have claimed to possess fragments of this original language. From Jewish Kabbalists to Sufi mystics, to secret societies like the Rosicrucians, all have sought to recover the power of this lost tongue. The Kabbalah, in particular, has dedicated centuries to the study of the mystical properties of the Hebrew language, considered by many to be the closest to the original language of Eden. The Sefer Yetzirah, or Book of Creation, describes how God created the universe through the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet and the 10 Sephirot, or divine emanations. But let's not remain only in the realm of the mystical. Modern science, specifically quantum physics, has begun to explore concepts that resonate surprisingly with these ancient ideas. The theory that the observer's consciousness can influence reality at the subatomic level leads us to ask, could a perfect language be the ultimate observer, capable of shaping reality itself? Researchers like Dr. Masaru Emoto have conducted experiments suggesting that words and intentions can alter the molecular structure of water. If we consider that our bodies are mostly composed of water, the implications are astounding. Other scientists have explored the idea that DNA, the code of life itself, could be a form of language. Could the language of Eden be encoded in our very cells, waiting to be rediscovered? As we advance in our research, we find ourselves at the intersection of theology, linguistics, quantum physics, and molecular biology. This intersection is where the deepest conspiracies and the most astonishing truths often meet. In the upcoming segments, we will explore surprising evidence suggesting that fragments of this primordial language still exist. We will examine ancient rituals, magical formulas, and esoteric practices that might contain echoes of this forgotten power. Prepare yourselves, my dear truth seekers, for we are about to dive into deep and turbulent waters. The search for Eden's secret language is not just an academic exercise, it's an exploration of our own divine potential, a journey to the very heart of what it means to be human, and at the same time, something more. The question we must ask ourselves now is, if we were to recover this language, would we be prepared for the power it entails? And who are those who have kept this knowledge hidden for so long? My dear truth seekers, we have reached the core of our investigation. Prepare to immerse yourselves in the most shocking revelations about Eden's secret language and its connection to divine power. Let's begin with a fundamental question. How could a language have the power to alter reality? The answer leads us to explore the deepest mysteries of creation itself. First, we must consider the vibratory nature of the universe. Modern science tells us that everything, from subatomic particles to the farthest galaxies, is in constant vibration. The ancients already intuited this. The Hindu concept of Om as the primordial sound of the universe, or the biblical idea that in the beginning was the Word, point to this fundamental truth. Now, if everything is vibration, wouldn't it be logical to think that there exists a perfect frequency, a primordial vibration that resonates with the very essence of creation? This is where Eden's language comes into play. According to apocryphal texts like the Book of the Secrets of Enoch, this primordial language was not simply a means of communication, but a tool of direct manifestation. Each word, each syllable, was perfectly aligned with the fundamental frequencies of the cosmos. But there's more. Our investigations have led us to discover hidden documents in the Vatican's secret archives. These manuscripts, whose existence has been denied for centuries, speak of a grammar of creation. According to these texts, Eden's language not only allowed communication with the divine, but was the key to accessing the underlying codes of reality itself. Imagine for a moment that you could pronounce a word and alter the molecular structure of matter. Sounds like magic, right? But isn't advanced science indistinguishable from magic, as Arthur C. Clarke said? This is where quantum physics enters the scene. The famous double-slit experiment demonstrates that reality at the subatomic level behaves differently when observed. And what is language if not a form of observation, of defining reality? But let's go further. Recent studies in the field of epigenetics have shown that our thoughts and words can influence the expression of our genes. If our current language can do this, what couldn't a language perfectly aligned with cosmic laws achieve? Now, let me share with you a discovery we have kept secret until now. During an archaeological expedition in the Dead Sea caves, our team found a parchment fragment that seems to contain a syllable of the Edenic language. Preliminary analyses suggest that this syllable, when pronounced correctly, generates an anomalous electromagnetic field. But here comes the truly amazing part. When we exposed human cells to this field, we observed an acceleration in cellular regeneration that defies all conventional scientific explanation. Are we facing tangible proof of the divine language's healing power? However, with great power comes great responsibility. Throughout history, those who have glimpsed fragments of this knowledge have been persecuted. From the Gnostics to the Templars, to alchemists and mystics of all traditions, many have paid with their lives for getting too close to this truth. Why? Because Eden's language is not just a tool of creation, but also of destruction. In the wrong hands, it could unleash catastrophes of biblical proportions. Remember the story of the Tower of Babel? Perhaps it wasn't divine punishment, but a cosmic security measure. But there's more. Our research suggests that certain global elites know fragments of this language and use them in secret rituals to manipulate events on a global scale. The sacred geometry of certain monuments, the frequencies used in modern music, even certain patterns in the binary code of our computer systems, all could contain echoes of this primordial language. Now, how can we, truth seekers, approach this knowledge? The key lies in synchronization. Just as a tuning fork can make another vibrate at a distance, we can tune into the frequencies of the Edenic language through practices such as deep meditation, chanting mantras, and studying sacred mathematics. But be careful. As one gets closer to these truths, the forces that seek to keep them hidden become more active. Many researchers before us have experienced inexplicable accidents or have been systematically discredited. However, knowledge cannot be contained forever. We are on the threshold of a new era, one in which humanity could reclaim its divine heritage. Imagine a world where diseases can be cured with a word, where abundance can be manifested with a thought, where global peace is more than a utopia. But before we reach that point, we must face an uncomfortable truth. If the language of Eden exists, why was it taken from us in the first place? Was it really for eating from the tree of knowledge? Or is there a deeper, more unsettling story that we have yet to uncover? In our next section, we will explore the philosophical and spiritual implications of this knowledge. We will ask ourselves, if we were to recover the language of Eden, would we become gods or unleash forces that we are not prepared to handle? Prepare yourselves, my dear seekers, because what we are about to reveal will challenge everything you thought you knew about the nature of reality, the power of the word, and our place in the cosmos. The truth is out there, hidden in the sounds of the wind, in the patterns of the stars, and perhaps in the silence between the beats of our own hearts. My dear truth seekers, we have reached a critical point in our exploration. The revelations we have shared so far are just the tip of the iceberg. But before we delve deeper into the mysteries of Eden's language, we must pause and consider the implications of what we are unearthing. Think for a moment. If a language has the power to alter reality, to cure diseases, to manifest desires, what would happen if it fell into the wrong hands? Or has it already happened? Some suggest that certain inexplicable historical events, from the construction of the pyramids to the sudden technological advances of the 20th century, could be the result of fragmentary use of this ancestral knowledge. But if so, who are the guardians of these secrets? Let me share with you a disturbing anecdote. During our research, we came across an ancient Sumerian text that refers to a forbidden word. According to legend, this word had the power to undo creation. Curiously, shortly after translating this passage, our team experienced a series of inexplicable setbacks. Mysteriously erased recording equipment, missing documents, and even an attempted burglary at our offices. Coincidence? Maybe. But in my experience, when it comes to mysteries of this magnitude, coincidences are rare. Now, let's consider an even more intriguing possibility. What if the language of Eden wasn't completely lost? What if, somehow, it was encoded in our DNA, waiting to be activated? This would explain why certain people throughout history have shown seemingly superhuman abilities. From biblical prophets to modern mystics, could these individuals have unconsciously accessed fragments of this primordial language? But there's more. Recent discoveries in the field of linguistics suggest that all human languages share a common deep structure. Could this be a footprint of the original Edenic language? And this is where things become truly fascinating. What if I told you that we have found evidence that certain sequences of sounds, when pronounced in the correct order, can induce altered states of consciousness? States that, according to reports, allow people to perceive realities beyond our 3 dimensions. My dear truth seekers, we are on the brink of a discovery that could rewrite not only human history, but our understanding of the universe itself. But before revealing what we have found, I must warn you, the knowledge we are about to share has the potential to change your lives forever. Are you prepared to take the next step in this journey? To look behind the veil and face a reality that defies all conventional logic? The choice is yours. But remember, once you cross this threshold, there's no turning back. Before continuing with our revelations about Eden's secret language, I want to take a moment to address you directly, my dear community of truth seekers. First, I want to thank you for your courage and dedication. The path we're walking together is not easy. Questioning established narratives, challenging what we believe we know, requires courage, and you have demonstrated it in spades. I've noticed in the comments of our latest videos that many of you have been sharing your own experiences and theories about the primordial language. Let me tell you, your contributions are invaluable. Together, we're building a body of knowledge that could change the world. For example, Maria from Argentina commented on how certain Quechua words seem to have an energetic effect on plants. And Juan from Spain shared his experience with ancient mantras that, according to him, altered his perception of time. These observations could be crucial pieces of the puzzle we're putting together. If you haven't done so yet, I invite you to subscribe to our channel and activate notifications. Every week, we're unearthing new evidence, connecting dots that no one else has dared to connect. And believe me, what's coming is even more amazing. Also, if you feel this knowledge should be shared, don't hesitate to spread our videos. The more of us there are in this search, the harder it will be for those who want to keep these truths hidden. Now, I have a question for you. What would you do if you discovered that you can access fragments of Eden's language? How would you use that power? Share it in the comments. Your answers could inspire our next investigation. And one last thing, in our next video, we'll reveal a discovery that will make everything we've discussed so far seem like just the tip of the iceberg. It involves an ancient prophecy, an imminent astronomical phenomenon, and a linguistic pattern that repeats in cultures around the world. You won't want to miss it. Remember, the truth is out there, waiting to be discovered. And together, we're closer than ever to unraveling the deepest mysteries of the universe. Now prepare yourselves, because what we're about to reveal will challenge everything you think you know about reality itself. Welcome back, my tireless truth seekers. We've reached the culminating point of our exploration of Eden's secret language. What I'm about to reveal to you is the result of years of research, analysis of ancient texts, and cutting-edge scientific discoveries. Prepare yourselves, because this information has the potential to reconfigure our understanding of reality itself. Let's start with a seemingly simple question. What is language, really? We tend to think of it as a communication system, a tool for transmitting ideas. But what if it were much more than that? What if language, in its purest essence, were a programming code for reality? Our investigations have led us to a surprising conclusion. The language of Eden wasn't simply a means of communication, but a direct interface with the matrix of creation. Each word, each syllable was a sequence of commands capable of altering the very structure of the universe. Let me share with you some fascinating evidence supporting this theory. First, studies in cymatics, the science that studies the visible effects of sound on matter, have shown that different sound frequencies create specific geometric patterns in liquids and particles. These patterns bear a striking resemblance to forms found in nature, from the spirals of galaxies to the structure of DNA. Coincidence? We think not. Second, ancient esoteric texts from various cultures refer to words of power capable of performing miracles. From Vedic mantras to Hebrew hekhalot to Egyptian incantations, we find a constant, the belief that certain combinations of sounds can alter physical reality. But here comes the truly amazing part. We've discovered that these words of power from different traditions, when analyzed at the phonetic level, share similar vibrational patterns. It's as if they were all fragments of a common primordial language. Now, how does this relate to the language of Eden? According to our research, what we know as the language of Eden wasn't really a language in the conventional sense. It was more of a reality encoding system based on pure vibratory frequencies. Imagine a language where each sound, each syllable, resonates perfectly with the fundamental frequencies of the universe. A language where saying light not only names the phenomenon, but literally manipulates photons to create luminosity. But there's more. Our research team has partially succeeded in recreating some of these primordial frequencies using cutting-edge technology. The results have been, to say the least, unsettling. In controlled experiments, we have observed that certain sequences of sounds can alter the molecular structure of water, changing its physical properties, influence plant growth, accelerating or retarding their development, modify brainwave patterns in human subjects, inducing altered states of consciousness. These findings suggest that the language of Eden was not just a form of communication with the divine, but a tool for direct manipulation of physical reality. But here's where things become truly controversial. We have found evidence suggesting that certain elite groups throughout history have had access to fragments of this knowledge. From the Eleusinian mysteries of ancient Greece to modern secret societies, there seems to be a continuous line of transmission of this linguistic power. Does the phrase, "in the beginning was the Word," sound familiar? Perhaps it's not just a poetic metaphor, but a literal description of the creation process. Now, let me share with you a discovery we've kept secret until now. During an expedition to a remote cave in the Himalayas, our team found inscriptions that appear to be a kind of periodic table of creative sounds. Each symbol represents a specific frequency, which, according to the texts accompanying the inscriptions, corresponds to a particular aspect of physical reality. Most surprisingly, when we reproduced these frequencies in the laboratory, we observed phenomena that defy known laws of physics. Objects that levitated, fluctuations in the electromagnetic field, and even, in one case, what appeared to be a brief distortion of space-time. But with great power comes great responsibility. If the language of Eden is truly a programming code for reality, its misuse could have catastrophic consequences. Could some of the inexplicable disasters in history have been the result of failed experiments with this linguistic power? Moreover, we must ask ourselves, if this knowledge exists, why has it been kept hidden? Who are the guardians of these secrets, and what are their true intentions? The search for the language of Eden is not just a linguistic or historical investigation. It's an exploration of the very limits of reality, of our potential as human beings, and of our relationship with the divine. We are on the brink of a quantum leap in our evolution as a species. Imagine a world where we can heal diseases with the power of the word, where we can manifest abundance with a thought, where communication transcends language barriers and becomes a direct mind-to-mind connection. But we must also be cautious. If this power exists, are we prepared to handle it? Have we evolved enough as a species to wisely use such a powerful creation tool? My dear truth seekers, we are on the threshold of a new dawn for humanity. The rediscovery of Eden's language could be the key to unlocking our true divine potential. But it could also be a Pandora's box that, once opened, cannot be closed. In our next section, we will explore the ethical and spiritual implications of this knowledge. We will ask ourselves, what is our role in the grand cosmic design? And if we have the power to reprogram reality, what is our responsibility towards creation itself? Prepare yourselves, because what's coming will challenge not only your intellect, but also your soul. My dear truth seekers, we have reached a point in our exploration where we must elevate our perspective. The revelations about Eden's language that we have shared so far are astounding in themselves, but their implications are even more profound and transcendental. Let me invite you to take a step back and contemplate the bigger picture. What does the potential rediscovery of a language capable of altering reality really mean for us as human beings? First, we must consider our place in the cosmos. If there exists a language that can directly manipulate the matrix of creation, wouldn't that imply that we are more than mere observers in the universe? Could we be, in fact, co-creators? This idea resonates with ancient spiritual traditions from around the world. From the Hindu concept of Leela, the divine play of creation, to the Judeo-Christian notion that we are made in God's image and likeness, we find a constant: the idea that human beings have an active role in the unfolding of the cosmos. But with this power comes immense responsibility. If we truly have the ability to alter reality through language, every word we utter, every thought we formulate, becomes an act of creation. Are we prepared for that responsibility? Let's consider the ethical implications. In a world where words have literal power over physical reality, truth and integrity take on unprecedented importance. Lying would not simply be a moral deception, but an act of distorting reality itself. Moreover, we must ask ourselves, if we have the power to manifest our desires through language, how do we ensure that those desires are aligned with the greater good? History is full of examples of how power, even when obtained with good intentions, can corrupt. But let's go even further. The rediscovery of Eden's language could be the key to solving some of the greatest philosophical and existential mysteries that have puzzled humanity for millennia. For example, the nature of consciousness. If the primordial language is capable of altering reality, could it be that consciousness itself is a form of cosmic language? Could our conscious perception be, in essence, a continuous act of creation through this primordial language? And what about free will? In a universe where our words and thoughts have literal power over reality, the line between destiny and choice becomes blurred. Are we truly free, or are we simply playing our part in a grand cosmic drama, uttering the lines assigned to us in the language of creation? These questions lead us to consider the very nature of reality. If there exists a language capable of reprogramming the universe, does that mean that reality is, in its essence, information? Do we live in a kind of cosmic simulation where Eden's language is the source code? Quantum physics has already shown us that reality at the subatomic level is influenced by the observer. The rediscovery of the Edenic language could be the missing link that unites quantum physics with human consciousness, providing a mechanism by which our thoughts and words can literally shape the fabric of reality. But there's an even deeper question we must consider. If the language of Eden is real, and if we truly have the potential to access it, what is our true purpose in the grand cosmic design? Perhaps we are not simply the product of biological evolution, but spiritual entities on a journey of self-discovery. Maybe the purpose of our existence is to rediscover our innate creative power, learn to use it wisely, and ultimately become conscious co-creators of the universe. This perspective invites us to reconsider our relationship with the divine. Instead of being separate from divinity, imploring for intervention or salvation, we could be individualized expressions of cosmic consciousness, each with the potential to access the creative power of the universe through primordial language. My dear truth seekers, we are on the threshold of a revolution that is not only scientific or linguistic, but spiritual and existential. The rediscovery of Eden's language could be the catalyst for the next leap in the evolution of human consciousness. But with this possibility comes great responsibility. We must approach this knowledge not only with intellectual curiosity, but with deep reverence and wisdom. For if we truly have the power to reprogram reality, our challenge is to do so in a way that elevates all of creation, that heals the wounds of the world, and that brings us closer to realizing our divine potential. Ultimately, the search for Eden's language is a search for self-knowledge. It's a journey to the heart of who we really are and what our place is in the grand cosmic tapestry. And so, my dear seekers, I ask you, are you ready to embrace your true nature as co-creators of the universe? Are you prepared for the responsibility that comes with having the keys to the code of creation? The path ahead is exciting, but also challenging. It requires not only knowledge, but wisdom, not only power, but compassion. Together, we can navigate this new territory, unveiling the mysteries of the cosmos and our own divine nature. My dear truth seekers, we have come a long way in our exploration of Eden's secret language. My dear truth seekers, we have indeed come to the end of this fascinating journey of discovery about Eden's secret language. But remember, this is not an ending, but a new beginning. The knowledge we have explored today has the potential to transform not only our individual lives, but the course of human history. We are on the brink of a collective awakening, a revolution of consciousness that could redefine our relationship with the cosmos and with ourselves. But this knowledge cannot remain static. It must be explored, questioned, applied, and shared. And this is where you come in. I invite you to become active investigators of this ancient and yet revolutionary truth. Experiment with the power of your words in your daily life. Observe how your language shapes your reality. Share your discoveries and insights with others, but do so with wisdom and discernment. As we conclude, I want to remind you of a few key points. 1. Every word you speak is a creative act. Choose your words wisely and with intention. Your thoughts and emotions are powerful frequencies. Learn to tune them to harmonize with the universe. Silence and meditation can be gateways to deeper understanding of the primordial language. Use mantras and affirmations as tools to reprogram your personal reality. Apply this knowledge to heal and strengthen your relationships. Practice creative visualization combined with verbalization to manifest your desires. Always consider the ethical implications of your words and intentions. Remember, the search for Eden's language is ultimately a journey of self-discovery. It's about remembering our true nature as divine beings with the power to co-create reality. As you continue to explore this knowledge, I urge you to maintain a balance between intellectual curiosity and spiritual wisdom. Seek knowledge, but don't forget to cultivate compassion. Explore your power, but do so with humility. And above all, remember that each of you is a custodian of this sacred knowledge. Use it responsibly, share it with discernment, and allow it to transform you into living examples of the divine potential that resides in every human being. May your words be light, may your thoughts be pure, and may your actions reflect the harmony of the primordial language of creation. Thank you for joining me on this extraordinary journey. Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep creating. The truth is within you, waiting to be spoken into existence. Observe how your reality changes when you consciously modify your internal and external language. Share your experiences and discoveries in the comments of this video. Together, we are creating a community of truth seekers, a living laboratory where we can explore the boundaries of reality and our role in it. For those who wish to delve even deeper, I encourage you to explore the additional resources we have prepared. On our website, you'll find a series of practical exercises, guided meditations, and reading materials that will help you integrate this knowledge into your daily life. And don't miss our next video. We'll be revealing surprising evidence that suggests a connection between the language of Eden and certain astronomical phenomena that are about to occur. The implications are, to say the least, astounding. Remember to activate notifications so you don't miss any updates. Every week we are unraveling new mysteries, connecting dots that no one else has dared to join. Finally, I leave you with a question to ponder. If you had access to the creative power of the universe through language, what reality would you choose to create? Meditate on this and share your ideas in the comments. My dear truth seekers, you are on the threshold of something extraordinary. Knowledge is power, and the power we have explored today has the potential to change the world. Use it wisely, share it with compassion, and allow it to transform you into the highest versions of yourselves. Until our next encounter, keep questioning, keep exploring, and above all, keep seeking the truth. Because the truth, my friends, will not only set you free, but it will turn you into conscious co-creators of the great mystery we call reality. Until next time. And remember, every word you utter is a seed planted in the garden of the universe. Choose wisely what you wish to cultivate.